So this other dream that I had, it starts in British Columbia, and it's a small town, maybe 2 hours or so from Vancouver. I don't know that I've ever been there before. It's actually really beautiful. Basically I'm standing in a grassy field, and it's lined with trees, and there's a road that's nearby. And behind the trees are mountains, and the mountains are just everywhere. And they're just creating this really delicious texture in the background. And they just kind of go just so far in all directions. And you can just watch them see them staggering back into the clouds, just kind of blending into the sky in the distance. And so I feel really fresh here. I'm standing in a field, and I know that I'm here for training. And the training is to learn how to fly a rocket. But my first stage of training is to learn how to fly a plane. So I'm inside of a small plane, and I guess I'm driving along the runway, just trying to take off, I guess. And so I'm driving, and I'm receiving like instruction from, I think, my dad, who I haven't actually talked to in a really long time, but he's really into planes and has been building planes since I was a child. So planes are very much connected to my dad when I think of planes. So yeah, I'm in this plane and I'm driving along the runway, and I'm receiving instruction from him which says that I have to crank the steering back, and so in order to go up, so I'm pulling it back, but it's such sensitive control that what happened was pulling it back caused the plane to sort of go up like this, and I pull it back, and because it has that effect on the whole vehicle, I tip backwards like, whoa, and now I'm like kind of going up on this angle, and because I'm in this awkward position, it's really difficult for me to push forward because gravity is like pulling me down, and it's pulling the controls down with me. And so what happens is the plane is going up like this, and then eventually just kind of goes like this, and now I've gone really, really high, and now I'm like going down and crashing towards the ground. And it all happened so quickly. I didn't even get to appreciate getting off the ground. I'm in the sky, and now I'm plummeting downwards. And so I somehow managed to get control and start sort of coasting around, and then I realized that I can pretty much go anywhere I want, so I decided I'm going to go to New York, and I flew under this really huge bridge, and then I went and flew around the Statue of Liberty, and then I flew back and landed very nicely. So I guess some next level of training. Apparently I've just been here for a long time. I've been here for months or years, I'm not really sure. In these varying stages of training, and knowing that the ultimate goal is to get into space. So where we live, we have these like bunkers, and basically it's like it looks kind of like a silo. I think that's what they're called. It's like this tall, like tube-shaped building that looks like this. It's like a tube-shaped building, and basically you enter in through a door somewhere in here, like a door, and then you go up on the inside. There's a staircase that kind of goes up like that all the way around the inside of the building. And so as you work your way, we work our way up the stairs, I'll find doorways which lead off to someone else's bunker. And I'm not the first one. I don't know which one I am. I'm not the top one. I'm like the one right below the top one. And so that one, I'm, I guess, making my way up to just go rest for a bit and prepare for tomorrow. And somebody's in my room. There's like some kind of scientist dude, or some kind of, I don't know, he's a superior of some kind, and he says, you've broken some rules, and this is not okay. And there's a whole lot of that kind of energy, although he hasn't said that with words. It's kind of like this understanding that I've done something wrong, and they've discovered it, and now there's going to be like a whole conversation about it, and like blah blah blah. So So I go up to the guy, I'm like, what's happening? And he says, okay, well, we were doing an inspection of your room, and we found in this cabinet a shelf full of vegetables. And he pulls open my filing cabinet and reveals to me like rows and rows and rows of carrots and celery, you know, varying degrees of vegetables and things. But they're all like stick-like vegetables. None of them are like leafy vegetables or anything like. They're not round. They're all long, and they're all fluffy. They all have some kind of like fluffy texture on them, which kind of looks like mold. So he says that it's not okay that I've been holding on to these to this food. This is Earth food, and we're not here to adapt to eating Earth food. We're here to learn how to eat in space. So I was on a strict diet, which was like all packaged, powdered, like liquid foods, and it's just all been it's all in these like packages that it's really gross. But I knew that that's eventually what it was going to lead towards. However, I had this side project going while I was learning how to fly and stuff, which was basically like trying to figure out how I can have Earth food in space. So my project was inside that cabinet. My project started with 1 carrot and 1 piece of celery and whatever other types of vegetables there were, and my attempt was to clone them somehow. So I managed to clone all the vegetables, and somehow they got all fluffy and white and stuff, but it worked. So when as he pulled open the cabinet and was revealing all these things to me, it was also the first time that I'd seen how many of them there were, and I was just kind of like, wow, that's amazing, but also I'm in trouble, so it's kind of strange. And so, oh no, you're not allowed to have, like, this food is not okay, you can't have that. And I'm like, oh no, but the experiment worked, it's awesome, like, look, there's progress. And I tried to show him it doesn't really matter. I don't really know where that conversation goes. There doesn't seem to be like a resolve there. Cut to, there's another chapter in the story. So now I am at the base of a rocket, and you know, it's kind of come to that time where I'm going to be going into space soon. And so I'm standing at the bottom of this rocket, and feeling kind of nervous actually, and feeling my dad is there kind of in the background. He's sort of saying to me on a telepathic level, like, you know, there's a lot of risk going up in space, and you might die, and it's very dangerous, and you know, is that something you really want to do? And it's funny because he's the one who'd been preparing me for this the whole time. So I mean, everything he's saying is pretty legit, and it's not like I can argue with that. That's true, I could die, you know. What can I say? But I could also just trust that it will work out. And saying that to him kind of I feel stupid. I feel like he's perceiving me as like stupid, like blind faith in something that's not scientific enough or solid enough for me to depend on, and to allow myself to rely on the fact that I'll stay alive based on these plans. So it's like he wants me to take this more seriously. So I just kind of imagine, I drift off into this imagination of like, or this, I guess, little daydream inside of a dream or whatever, of me being alone in space, just alone in space, and imagining what it would be like to sleep there, and to be alone there, and to wake up and feel, how safe will I feel when I wake up, because there's nobody watching. And then there's my dad speaking over it saying, you need somebody to watch out while you're sleeping, like you can't just fall asleep there. What if an asteroid is coming towards you? Like, there needs to be someone at the controls, like making sure that that's not gonna be a problem. And I feel like, yeah, those are all very legit, like, things to consider. But my plan is I'm going to space, and I don't know. I never thought about any of these things. I feel like this overwhelming notion that I'm moving towards some very deep levels of solitude and loneliness and aloneness, and there's just a lot of that needs to happen. And I guess I feel like there's some sadness there, but it's just because I don't understand it. But I feel like I'm hurrying up to get to this space. I've been planning all this time, like all this practicing to fly. It's all been moving up towards this. So yeah, there's something kind of weird about that. And so anyways, there's the end of the dream, there's this man who's, I guess, giving me instruction about like how to actually penetrate through the atmosphere. So he says, okay, so it's really important when you're taking off to look for the hole in the atmosphere and fly through the hole, because what's really important is you don't want to make a new hole, but you also don't want to, you want to go the path of least resistance. So going through the hole in the atmosphere will help, because it's already there, it's already a path that exists, so you should just go through there. So it's a matter of finding the hole. So I'm just looking up at the sky and it's just blue, and it's just, how exactly do I find this hole in the atmosphere? How can I identify that? Are the controls and the screens and things going to tell me this, or how am I going to know that? I just didn't feel prepared, and yet here I am on this day where I'm supposed to be blasting off into space. So yeah, that's the end of the dream. It's kind of awesome. It's pretty fun, you know, flying around and stuff. I don't really have that many a lot of thoughts on it at the moment. It's just kind of something, I don't really want to dismantle it and try and analyze it. I do that, and I will do that, but I'm not going to make it part of this this experience. I'm just going to use this as like a storytelling opportunity. And yeah, so that's all. Sorry for the little like light things. There's like a disco ball in my room, and I kind of like playing with like the spots. It's kind of fun. It's like, so awesome. So anyway, yeah, that's all for now, and I'm gonna go work on my dream book right now. Gotta give some time to that, which is basically just compiling all of the dreams I've had over the past like 5 or 6 years, and I'll be publishing that into like a hard copy book at some point. Not necessarily anything really serious. I just really want to have something tangible to hold on to and to share with people that I care about. So yeah, that's kind of a long-term thing that I'm working on at the moment. And I don't really have anything else to report at the moment. I'm almost finished the Lady in the Water collage. I should be done soon, and I will show you her when she's done. So for now, I am going to go away, and thanks to everyone who actually watches these videos. That's awesome, and I'm going to keep posting them, so this has been really fun, and looking forward to continuing. So I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.